Welcome back. Come join us while we visit the Alabama Hills, Mount Whitney, and the Ancient Bristlecone Pine Forest. This is the Alabama Hills Recreation and National Scenic Area. The Alabama Hills were formed of rounded rocks and eroded hills. It's set between the jagged peaks of the Sierra Nevadas and the Owen Valley. The hills consist of nearly 30,000 acres of public land. It's located west of Lone Pine, and it's managed by the Bureau of Land Management. The name came around the 1860s from prospectors while they were working mining claims. They named it after a Civil War ship. The rounded, oddly shaped contours of the Alabama Hills form a sharp contrast to the glacially carved, sharp edges of the Sierra Nevadas. While both landforms consist of the same granitic rock, the fantastic shapes of the hills are a result of natural chemical weathering. You probably look at all of the scenery around and think, wow, I could see a movie being made out here. And you wouldn't be wrong, because beginning in 1920, Hollywood filmmakers began to take an interest in the Alabama Hills for its natural scenery. Since then, over 400 movies have been filmed here. Movie stars such as Tom Mix, Hopalong Cassidy, Gene Autry, and The Lone Ranger shot it out with Outlaws. Classics such as Gunga Din, Yellow Sky, and How the West Was Won were filmed along Movie Road, which is the road that we're on. The 1990 sci-fi classics Tremors was filmed almost entirely on location in the Alabama Hills. During 1993, portions of Maverick were filmed here. More recently, Star Trek Generations, Gladiator, Iron Man, and Django Unchained were filmed in the Alabama Hills. turn certain directions and you can see Mount Whitney, even though the sun's kind of facing or shining down in our faces, our eyes. Lone Pine is the town and portal to get to the Alabama Hills and Mount Whitney. The indigenous people of this valley still reside in this place, where their ancestors have lived for thousands of years. They ask that we respect and care for this land as we visit. Mount Whitney is the highest mountain in the contiguous United States, with an elevation of 14,505 feet. The mountain's west slope is in Sequoia National Park, and the eastern slopes are what are visible to us. Although we only could see its peaks from the Owens Valley, you can see it from multiple locations. We tried to drive up Mount Whitney, but the road was closed because of snow. You can drive about 12 miles up Whitney Portal Road to Whitney Portal, which is halfway up at approximately 5,000 feet in elevation. We were only able to go about maybe a half a mile, if that, where we did have a great view of the Owens Valley, but we couldn't go any further, unfortunately. We tried driving up to the Ancient Bristlecone Pine Forest, which is northeast of Big Pine. You could see the terrain changing as we drove up. There were basically two types of trees, the pinyon pine and the Utah juniper. But at 9,800 to about 11,000 feet in elevation, that's where you find the Ancient Bristlecone Pine. We stopped at the Sierra View observation site on the way to the White Mountain and Ancient Bristlecone Pine Forest. We had spectacular views of the backbone of the Sierra Nevada range, as well as the Owen Valley and the town of Bishop. All of this, where we're standing, is at 9,750 feet of elevation. We continued on, hoping to be able to hike up in the Ancient Bristlecone Pine Forest, but we were stopped by snow-covered roads. They were impassable by vehicle, so we had to turn around, and we returned a few days later so that we could actually hike up the road where we were supposed to drive. We tried hiking to the ancient trees, but we were sinking to our knees in deep snow. So we sat on a bench, enjoyed the view, then hiked back down. just tried to hike up to Bristlecone, and we're trying to make it to the visitor center, but the road was just fully covered with snow. It was impassable. It was across the entire road, across the hiking paths, and even into the field. We found a few dry spots that we were able to traverse and get to areas where we could take a few pictures, but we didn't even get close to the ancient bristlecone pines. We were up at the grove. What is it called? Shulman's Grove, where the ancient bristlecone pines are, and Methuselah.
Technically, we were in it.
Yeah, technically we were in it because we were climbing up through the snow, and we just couldn't go any further. So we were sinking to our knees in the snow. So anyway, it was a good hike. Not sure exactly how far we went total.
It'd be about 4 miles or 5 miles.
Yeah, it'll be 4 or 5 miles. So anyway, hiking down. I've got to cross this deep snow. Woo. Look at that. Woo. It was kind of fun for this Florida girl. Now look at that. Look at the twistiness of those roots. That's incredible. The bristlecone pine is a medium-sized tree reaching 16 to 49 feet tall and with a trunk diameter of 8 to 12 feet. The needles are short and dense. They live long, with Methuselah said to be 4,856 years old, the oldest on Earth, and located here in the ancient forest. What a great hike that was, but we're heading back to our campground. which is in a great location, central to all the places. In our next video, we'll visit Mammoth Lakes and revisit Death Valley, but from the western entrance. Stay tuned.